point in the direction and you find the strongest signal source,
you're going to be convinced that it's the guy sitting in the seat behind you. It's not the guy sitting in the seat behind you, and it's certainly not your neighbor on the ground 400 miles away that's hitting you.
Woo! It's getting cold out, guys. Let me know if it's getting cold in your parts. Definitely is here. How would it make you feel if I told you everyone was being tracked by satellites? And the satellite tracking aims right there. A lot of people are going to be thrown for a loop after I go through some of this information, and some of you all are going to be ordering Faraday hats in bulk. More interesting information you all should know coming right up. Welcome. If you're brand new here to this awesome community where we do prepping tips, emergency preparedness how-tos, and most importantly, we go over news and awareness, stuff you probably want to know about, be sure to hit the notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Now, someone in the community sent me this article that was just released. Now, per Anna Maria Melkea, MD, PhD, November 15th, she puts out this article, Humanity United Now. Everyone is tracked and everyone has technology in their blood. Most people refuse to know. Watch the little video on using a Gauss meter on your head. Seeing and doing is believing. And we can agree. Lots of stuff, lots of theories, lots of crazy things going on out there. People just don't want to believe it. Well, I'm going to show you this video that's going to have you scratching your head or covering your head. Now, who thought we were being tracked by the top of our head with satellites? Everyone in the United States and Europe, possibly most of the world, is being precisely tracked by Lockheed and Boeing GPS tracking satellites. The tracking signal uses 3200 to 3750 megahertz S-band, and many people can feel the microwave pulse using your hand or forearm above the top back part of your head. Now, at the moment, I don't feel anything, but apparently you can. And certainly with one of these monitors, you can tell something's going on. Shriver Space Force Base is the largest satellite operations facility in the world. Now, like I said, I don't feel anything. That doesn't mean it's not there. And I'm about to show you a video that definitely is picking up on a reading. Now, before I show you that video, let me know down in the comments, have you heard of this? Is this something that you guys think is real? And of course, hit the like button and share it if you think other people should be picking up on this. Now, in this short video with Richard, Lighthouse, and Juan, showing the microwave tracking from satellites, this scientific instrument is called a Gauss meter, and it shows the increase in magnetic field strength using increased sound pitch, approximately 16 seconds. You guys are probably thinking, what the heck is a Gauss meter? Well, right here apparently is a picture of a Gauss meter. Now, I have no idea about the validity of this, but it is definitely very interesting. And right up here, you can see the signal analyzer readings using Spectrum HF 4040 Lockheed Martin GPS satellite tracking is done at 3200 to 3750 megahertz. The Vercator microwave weapon patent number operates at 3920 to 3935 megahertz. Caution, the NSA can hack the device within minutes and zero out large sections of bandwidth. A signal analyzer should be used in combination with signal generators to prove the readings. Note, the graphs show there are almost zero background noise in 2016. The US Space Force has started adding fake background noise to these frequency ranges, what they say criminal activity. So let's take a look at these guys scanning the back sides of their heads. And it is pretty interesting because this thing starts picking up on something there, something that needs to be explained. Check it out. Now, do you see that? What the heck? It's definitely picking up above the top of his head. Now, because of that video, I kind of found this along with some of the information. This is kind of an interesting perspective. And I wanted to get this information out to you guys. You guys let me know if we're headed down a rabbit trail that might have something here. Now, right here, they show this little antenna directional thing that you can do out of your yard, your front yard, your backyard. And where the two lines meet, that's where the signal source is coming from.
We're going to show you how to triangulate. It's very simple. You point in the direction, and you find the strongest signal source. So it's going to be right over there, straight over there. And you write down on your map, you print out a map of your house, and then you walk to a different location on your property.
Now they have more videos on that, but I wanted to show you that they've got the technology to kind of pinpoint where these frequencies are coming from. Some people are like, is this coming from my neighbor's house? Well, maybe not. You have noticed all of the cell towers up, right? All of this big push for 5G. Definitely a lot of things to be said about that. By the way, many of your guys' cell phones, you can go under the cellular tab, go in there and manually turn off 5G if you don't trust 5G. I personally, along with some other friends that I have, we have turned off 5G. We run off of LTE. I've heard a lot of scary stuff about 5G, enough to where I feel comfortable running off of LTE and it's running just fine. Anyway, that's something you may want to consider. Now, a little bit about these guys' perspective on the towers.
One of the important details that I want to quickly cover is we still get a lot of reports from TI saying that their neighbors are involved. I can confirm and convince you that your neighbors do not have a microwave weapon. It takes a huge amount of electricity to power a microwave weapon and make it fire even one time. And if you're not convinced of that, go to a cell tower and look at the size of the power cables that go up there. There's enough power going up that to electrical cables that power 1,000 or more homes.
Now, your microwaves is a good example. You know, your microwaves run at 12 to 1,600 watts. You know, that's a lot of juice. That's 15 amps at 120 volts. That's a lot of juice, and that's that close, you know, heating up the food. Now, they're firing it from their neighbor's house. You're going to need a lot more power than 1,600 watts to even, you know, penetrate the house to get to you. So there's no way it could be coming from your neighbors. Now, they might be watching you. They might be hired to watch you, you know, that I've experienced, but they definitely don't have weapons. You know, they might use laser eavesdropper on you like they have with me. That's easily jammed with noise, or you know, they're just keeping an eye on you and reporting it. But they don't have weapons. They don't have microwave weapons.
So here's another bit of information that might convince you. If you're flying in a commercial aircraft at 35,000 feet and you're still getting hit, you're going to be convinced that it's a guy sitting in the seat behind you. It's not the guy sitting in the seat behind you, and it's certainly not your neighbor on the ground 400 miles away that's hitting you. It's coming from a satellite at that point, because cell towers generally point horizontally or even down towards the ground. So those events will help convince you that it's not coming from your neighbor, and that both cell towers and satellites are being used, so that whenever you're out of cell tower range, the satellites will pick up the signal and start doing the tracking and attacks.
So these guys are saying that they're beaming you from satellites and cell towers. Some people might say these guys are taking it a little bit too far. Other people, along with some people I listen to, definitely think that something's going on. Might not be able to explain it, but there's definitely something fishy going on with the cell towers and the satellites. Now, another thing that they circle this around is a highly advanced technical military base.
Yeah, so Shri Air Force Base is a very unique base in the U.S. Space Force. It is the control center for their weapons, and the capabilities of those weapons is truly extraordinary. Our research involves both our own team's research and from our members that have submitted information over the past 6 years. So you're going to see some of that presented here today. So to start with, Shri Air Force Base is located near Colorado Springs. It's home to more than 8,000 employees. It is a deep underground military base. And in this diagram, you can see an overhead view. You see that there are two main banks of elevators for surface traffic. These are very small buildings. Clearly, the number of parking spots alone would overwhelm a building of that size. So clearly, it's an elevator bank. The use of the term portal is very interesting, that a bank of elevators is referred to as portal, but we've found some interesting connections with other military bases that also use that portal term, suggesting that they are all interconnected by a large underground tunnel system. we've actually done research and published an ebook about it.
Now that's another rabbit trail of info you guys could dive down, but definitely something to think about. You got this fairly small base. You can see the size of it with a couple smaller buildings, tunnels and elevator shafts going down called the portal. This facilitate 8,000 employees in those two little buildings. You got to think of how big this facility must be underground. There's definitely a lot going on under there. Now we're just scratching the surface on the theory that this little website's putting out there. But like I said, I thought it sounded pretty darn interesting and went along the same lines of some of the other concerns regarding the waves and some of these cell towers and satellite frequencies that people are talking about right now. Again, let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below. If you think this is information that should be shared out to the community, please share it. Now I wanted to know what the people are saying about this, so I read through some of the comments. Lioness3 writes, Faraday caps all around. Someone else also chimed in, I was thinking it's finally time for a tinfoil hat. And then the skeptic's point of view. Seriously, that short video is supposed to prove something? For all I know, the guy just turned up the sound on the instrument when he got near the back of his head. Even if they could do this, how would they track a specific person, millions of people in the world? Everyone could have put out a different sound wave and they'd have to know what wave belonged to who and be able to track a specific person. I think I would be more leery of Google Maps taking a picture of my house. And in the reaction, someone wrote, seriously, maybe you don't believe in engineering. And of course, they went back and forth. One more. A person named Pellin says, yes, I feel it on that spot on my head 24/7. I also feel like there's a chip or some type of bio-robot in my brain that is connected to the satellites. Feels like something is rolling. Oh, and Christopher writes, are you sure it's not a microwave thick pulses of the 5G on your electric smart meters? It's definitely a topic some people are talking about. Again, let me know what you guys are thinking on this one. I'll leave a link if you want to see what else they have to say on this. Possibly another reason to get the tinfoil out. Got to stay on your toes out there, people. All kinds of weird stuff going on. If nothing else, keep learning. Stay aware of what's happening and all the different perspectives. If you guys missed either one of these videos, you're definitely going to want to know about. So be sure to click on one of those. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one. Got some more interesting stuff coming right up.